Hi everyone and welcome to this Riley webinar. We're just about to begin. You're very welcome. I'm Carolina and I'm a product manager here at Rillion, and together or with me I have Emil, my awesome colleague.
Yes, lead AI engineer at Rillion and one of the developers on the Riley team who's developed
Yes.
this.
Cool. It's great to have you here, Emil. It's really exciting times that we'll be launching Riley as of yesterday, I believe. But what will we be talking about today?
Yes, so today we will speak a bit generally regarding the AP challenges and how we can leverage AI in AP, and then focusing in on what Riley is here to help with and what it can do right now, but also looking a bit ahead, seeing the future and our vision of where Riley is heading and its functionality, but also focusing a bit on how to get started now that it's live, and what you can expect. And then lastly, some questions and answers.
Great. I have loads of questions here, Emil, so be prepared.
Perfect.
But just as a reminder, Riley will be available to all our prime customers and is primarily for AP managers. And you're most welcome to pose all questions in the chat already, and we'll pin them and come back to them later in the sessions. And if questions are too customer specific, I will sort of advise you to talk to your customer success manager or account executive. Did I forget anything, Emil?
I don't think so.
No,
I think we can get started.
because I'm always right.
Yeah.
But before welcoming Riley, we got to talk about this pile of paper, because we know that finance teams are under enormous amount of pressure because of high invoice volumes, loads of data, and tighter regulations, really. And the truth is that volume, variety, and variability of AP data leads to sort of a mental overload. Not only that you have to go through this sort of pile of paper, but in this, ever-changing environment, we have different tax rules, complex reporting standards, projects, loads of line items, and it results in manual work. And it's not really about the process itself, it's the overload. And this is why AI can make the biggest difference and why it's so relevant to AP, digging through and crunching through all of that data and complex system and configurations. But I'm not the expert here. I just know that this is a problem. Emil, where do you see, what's your take on AI in accounts payable?
Yeah, so just continuing on what you already mentioned, is that I think AI is a very good catalyst for being competitive, having a competitive advantage, and also being able to move fast in a very fast changing economic market. Rules and regulations change, different things change. Where previously one had to manually adapt rules, continuously configure the system, AI is more adaptive to changes that are happening daily, and can help you actually move faster without having to focus on the infrastructure behind it. And if we look at our own customers who've been using AI, we see a dramatic reduction in number of manually handled invoices, especially looking at exceptions and how many errors that occur due to manual error. And that also entails into, or goes into, enhanced fraud detection and compliance, is that like humans are very good at complex tasks and smaller pattern recognition problems where you have to really handle something dynamically, where AI excels in seeing patterns over a long period of time, handling everything, keeping everything in memory, and especially when transactions are very much repetitive and patterns being repetitively happening. And that's also where I'm seeing like the AP department heading, is that if you can remove more and more of that transaction processing and needing to dig into every single transaction, is that you can move into focusing on the larger perspective, batch handling, moving larger volumes of invoices and handling from a single suggestion, or without needing to dig deep into every single transaction. And that's where I think Riley really can be a part of.
Cool. I sense that this is a topic that you care deeply about, which is great because you're the lead engineer. And before we will really welcome Riley, which I know that you've been working a long time with, I would like for our audience to answer a tiny question, whether you are using any AI assistants in your daily life, privately or professionally, because I think that's a good question to, or an insight for us to know what your level of usage of AI assistants. And I think it's really interesting to see that, it's good that you're not interested, because then I would have wondered what you were doing here. But great to see so high usage, I would say, that serves as a good basis for us. But now I think we should really welcome Riley. As of today, Riley is enabled for all of our Prime customers to use, and that's what we're here for, right? Riley is built into your Rillion platform. No extra integrations, no complex setup, configuration, and so forth. It leverages OpenAI's Chat GPT model, and it's here to help you process invoices faster than you could before. It's here to help you search through the sort of knowledge user base, the user guides, to create support tickets, and actually, most importantly, talk to your invoices, or your pile of invoices, that is. But I'm not the expert here. Emil, you are. Maybe you can give us some highlights of what Riley can actually do and how it will carry out my queries simply.
Definitely. So let's focusing first on the knowledge base and guides, and basically the internal knowledge of how to use Prime. Is that we've ingested everything into Riley, so that it should have perfect knowledge of the Prime product. We also continuously update this as much as we can. We're trying to take a complete new take in Rillion as a whole on guidance and how to use the product. And Riley is one of the main drivers behind this. So hopefully you can get access to step-by-step guides, deeper understanding of the product, and it should also be able to point you into further documentation if you want to read on. Yes.
Cool.
And then if the guides are not enough and you get stuck, either an error pops up on the system, Riley shouldn't be a blocker for you to get to support, or seeing that all the information you put into the chat doesn't go on, or you have to duplicate it onto support form. So Riley can also help you with creating support tickets directly in the chat. So if you're seeing, trying to use the guide to get going or set something up, you're seeing errors, or Riley can't help you further because due to circumstances, then you can also prompt it, and it should also ask you if you want to create a support ticket with the information that you already provided, maybe some further explanations, and create a support ticket for you. Hopefully, so you don't have to change, and so you can, don't have to reach out to support in many different locations.
Can I have a question? Can I add an image here in this chat?
Not right now. That's something that we're looking into. Currently, you can only feed everything in. Riley is, though, somewhat context aware. So where you're seeing there might be something that we're looking in, or no, but not the image right now. But
okay.
it's on the requests.
Yeah, I have many requests for you. May I ask about language?
Yes,
English.
good question. So Riley is, as many of you who's used different AI assistants or agents before, Riley is not language agnostic, but language independent. So you can use any form of language you want. You can also switch in between. So you can start a conversation in English, move it over to your preferred language or a colleague's preferred language if you want to translate certain things. So it's a very good case of actually being able to just not only digest guides and information, but also maybe to present it to someone who isn't a native English speaker or any other language.
Okay, so the first two sort of use cases are mainly for onboarding, learning the ropes, and understand how stuff works in Prime and AP, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Cool. And I just got a question about when Riley is available to use, and it's already available in Prime under the help and navigation. But we also have this one.
Yes. So where we're seeing Riley, one of the first things that we've implemented, which might be the next steps of Riley, is that we're ingesting data into it so that it's a catalyst for you to be able to talk to your data or fetch information that you need in the view you're currently at to help you finalize the work. For example, if you're in the invoice detail view and you need to find previous invoices to know how this was coded previously, or help in finding a certain supplier, you can just ask Riley instead of moving between different sections or different windows. Riley is also context aware, meaning you don't need to know the supplier number to search something. It should be able to fetch me previous invoices from this supplier or the similar, that kind of similar prompt. You could also see it here in my demo of it on the right, where we're just show me the previous invoices of this supplier, for example.
Cool. What are the most common questions that Riley gets? Do you know?
I think most of the common ones right now are based on user guides and onboarding, mainly due to, I think, not that many have started finding out what kind of data you can actually talk to. But I'm hoping now that we've demoed some stuff that more and more people will try to leverage every data that's in there and try to ask as much as possible. I can mention that right now, Riley has access to historical invoices, suppliers, account codings, approval flows. If there's something that it can't answer right now, come back in a week and we'll see if Riley can answer it then. We're continuously improving on it. So don't feel that just because it couldn't answer it now, it can't do it in the future. We're trying to improve this as much as possible continuously.
But I love that you're saying come back within a week, then you're fast. That's awesome. I also got a question about coding. Can Riley code the invoice for you when you accept the proposal?
Currently, so what the current focus of Riley is only read up information and present information. It doesn't write anything as of yet. It is something we're looking into and might be of interest further on. But to begin with, so in this case right now, Riley could help you with give you a account proposal or a suggestion, but you would still need to manually input it. But that is one of the many improvement points that we're looking into in Riley, to start being able to not only give you suggestions, but maybe also, if you think they are relevant, actually put them in.
Okay, cool. I also got a question about, can we limit in functionality so that all users can't create support tickets? And just to be clear, not all users can make or create support tickets. The only users that can do that are the ones that are registered in the support portal, Freshdesk. So just to be clear.
Yes.
But I know you have a question for me, Emil, and that is what I think about Riley, right?
Exactly. So, Carolina, what is your favorite functionality on Riley?
Well, I love that Riley is sort of my best friend, actually. Always there for me when I need it. And it's easy to talk to. I know I don't have to do sort of SQL or any weird kind of formulating stuff in Excel. And then it understands me and my local language, really. So that's no wonder people are using ChatGPT as their professional or personal therapists. But to the core value of Riley lies that I actually have to do less grunt work. It's more about the money of actually processing invoices faster and with fewer errors. That will lead to cost savings, and secondarily, a speedier process make you maybe eligible for paying early discounts and you can avoid paying late and getting into sort of vendor disputes. So I think that's the core value of it. But let's talk a bit about future, Emil. I would like to know what you, as a professional lead AI engineer, knows about the future. How do you envision Riley in the future? Because I want to know what I'm getting.
Good question. I think we touched upon some of these things, but where we're currently at and what Riley is right now is an AI assistant. And it's basically a support functionality to help you where you're currently at, presenting you information that you request. And there's many things we want to improve upon here to get this functioning as perfectly as possible. But our next step and what we really want looking into moving quite soon is the called Copilot functionality, but more of a proactive response. Not only that you just need to ask everything, but also maybe find suggestions. So this invoice looks like a duplicate that we've presented here, but also if you have the contract module, this invoice seems like a perfect candidate for a contract. Do you want help with setting that up? Hopefully being able to not only help you utilize Rillion more, but also help you configure it and maybe help you remove or update functionality in it. What I'm seeing moving forward is a system that, as you can already do with certain larger AI agents, is performing tasks on a batch level. It's find me all the invoices that are stuck in approvers, send them emails, and hopefully get things going. Or I have these 3 invoices that are that I need to dispute with the supplier. Can you handle the communication with them? Like the more batch level, and that's where I also see AP being able to take a step back from the transaction level and maybe handling things on a larger, more strategic perspective, and then also on a batch perspective. At that point, Riley might be a completely standalone interface where you can actually do certain things in Rillion without even having login. That would be a very interesting take. But that's going into the future. Here now, we want to improve the AI assistant mode and soon jump into some of the more Copilot-like functionality.
Cool. I got a question. Can you ask to approve POs?
You can get help with certain things in PO. Currently, you can't really approve anything or write back to the system or edit stuff. But if you have any like these suggestions, talk to Riley, ask it if it can do it. Because everything that you also ask, even if it's not successful now, it's stuff that we take as feedback for things to do upcoming. If a lot of people are asking Riley regarding POs or PO approval, that will definitely be something that floats up higher on our agenda. So if any of these questions pops up, just feel free to also ask and put in feedback.
And do the small thumbs up, thumbs down, so we know what's a good answer, right?
Yeah, that will float up higher on our task list of looking into as well. So a lot of feedback.
And that's great to hear from you a little about the future. A small question to our audience, because we always love feedback and want input. What do you wish that Riley could do? And here are some proposals. And if you have other opinions or suggestions, feel free to post them in the chat, because it would be good to know what you would like us to do going forward. Oh, yeah, very clear answer here. Good. And now we actually need to talk about how you get started with Riley, because I think that's what people want to know. So currently you can find Riley it's actually alive and kicking. And all Prime customers have access to Riley via the sort of help navigation, and it's accessible for AP managers that have access to the invoice log. And it's really good to know that Riley comes in 2 versions. The sort of onboarding and support Riley, which is available to all Prime customers, about learning the ropes, getting to know Prime and so forth. And then we have Riley Pro, which has the feature of the talking to your AP data. So that can be good to know. But I think that this is by far the simplest and cheapest way to get started with your AI journey. But apart from this, I think it's really good to learn some tips and tricks when chatting to Riley. And maybe you, Emil, can share some knowledge about that.
Yes, I think that is a very good point. So, as mentioned here, Riley is, and we also talked about, Riley is multilingual. You can ask in your preferred language. As with any AI assistant, try to be specific and do one question at a time for hopefully getting better answers. I also think a very good point is that if you see that it doesn't really clearly understand your questions, try creating a completely new chat and test again. A lot of times, these AI assistants can become a bit confused if you have a longer conversation history regarding what's already been said and where you're currently at. So that's always a good suggestion. I think the most important thing to keep in mind is that Riley is a chat bot, and the best way to interface with it is to speak in a natural language and talk to it like it's your colleague. Don't write keyword searches, invoice supplier X. Try to better formulate the answer in, I'm trying to find invoices from this period of time from the current supplier. Can you give me some suggestions, preferably those in a recent date recency? The more you put in of what you want, usually the better the outcome is. And again, to iterate, is the more feedback we get back, the better we can make the assistant as well. So if at any point you feel like the answer is not what you expected, or it's not clear or anything, don't be afraid to give a feedback that is a negative or a downvote, because that is what we can use to actually improve the answers. And the same with a thumbs up if you think the answer is really good.
Cool. I've actually heard from the development team that those thumbs and ups and downs are really valuable, and they sort of eat that feedback for breakfast, that is. But now it's time for some questions, because we only have like 8 minutes left. And I've actually prepared a question that I know that people are longing to hear about, and that is actually security. So Emil, might you give me us the high levels of AI and security and Riley?
And I think this is a really important point, given that what we already seen regarding usage of AI and different AI tools is that one of the best ways, or one of the best things with Riley, is that it's one of these powerful AI assistant tools, but it's secure in the sense of your data is not leaving the product and your data region, and it's also use case specific. We don't train anything on this data. We don't train the models based on it. So it's your data. It's just used in your zone. If you're in Europe, data will never leave Europe. The same for US. And you can also be sure that the data is never left, or has never left Rillion either. So all data is secure with us.
Cool. Should we see if there are any more questions that I've missed out on? And just to be clear, I'm a bit picky here, but when you say Europe, you mean the EU, right?
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Great that I'm the picky one. Let's see if we have some Q&A. Well, I think we can highlight the fact that it's not really available in the US right now, right?
No, and we have some final things that we're doing, but hopefully being live very soon. But currently it's available to all in EU or EMEA.
EMEA, okay. And let's see if I have any more questions.
I can also answer one in the meantime, is that some people, or I've seen some questions regarding what kind of questions that Riley can use. One thing to note is that Riley excels at fetching individual things. So, for example, fetch historical invoices for the supplier, everything. If you're looking at more statistical data, things you maybe want from an analytics perspective, Riley will not be able to help you in a lot of those cases right now, but it's something we're looking into. But so, for example, if you're looking all invoices that were coded in this certain way for 2025, you will get few examples, but you won't get the statistics. So that's good to know.
Is that something you have on the agenda, maybe?
Yes,
Okay.
on the backlog.
On the backlog. Everything is, and it will be done in a week.
Yeah.
I have a question here. Is language automatically recognized by Riley?
Yes. So it both adapts to the language setting you have in Rillion, but also if you start speaking in any other form of language, it will continue with that. So even if you're, say, for example, you're using the Swedish version of Rillion and you start asking questions in Finnish, it should continue in Finnish. So
I have an input there because I just learned that Riley is actually set to the language which your computer is set on, not the prime instance, actually. I think that might be a good point.
Yeah, that might be true, actually.
It might be true.
I should know this.
Yeah, you should. Okay, can Riley create downloadable Excel reports based on a prompt?
No, not right now. And that also entails into the thing I mentioned regarding more statistical information. It is on backlog, and it's definitely something we'll look into, especially if we start seeing a lot of requests like statistical information. But currently, it fetches examples and not statistics. But if we get to the statistical thing, this might be very interesting to actually be able to download it as well. But currently not.
And then how can I give Riley feedback and suggestions?
You can, when you ask a question in Riley or when Riley answers, you will get a prompt or like a small part of the widget that asks you for feedback. Was this answer helpful? Yes or no? That's the feedback that we will be very grateful if you could put in.
But there's no sort of free text field.
No, not right now. We've had it as a thing to look into. If you want to feedback that in, you can just answer Riley with "This is what you did wrong," and write it into the prompt. We will have we will see it then.
Okay. So if I write, "You're not good at this. I would like to download these reports." Blah, blah, blah.
Yes. Then we would both, if you do the thumbs down or the no in the feedback section, then we will see that and as well as what you requested. So again, with being very, say what you want, be very specific in what you want to get out of Riley, but it's not wrong to be specific in saying to Riley what I did wrong either.
Okay. And can you use Riley in the buyer module?
You should have access to it. It can answer questions based on the buyer model or buyer module. I don't know how much of the data that's ingested based on the buyer module. But again, try it out. And if I see questions that pop up that we can easily improve upon, then we will definitely do it. But I know that for knowledge guides and how-to guides and everything, buyer module, we can answer questions based on that. Okay, cool.
Last question, because we have 1.5 minutes left. And that is, Riley says, unfortunately, I cannot search or view customer-specific information, such as invoices, suppliers, or companies. Is that so?
You might be on the essential package and not have access to AP data. That is Sorry, continue, Carolina.
No, I was just saying, and how might I know which package I'm on?
The easiest way is to reach out to your CSM or key account manager and talk to them regarding what package you're on. You could ask Riley what access it has and if it can answer questions on certain things, but it's not very clear, and it might be something with how your package is set up. So easiest way is just contact your key account to get that set up.
Okay, cool. 1 minute left. Do you have any final words of your baby that's come into the world right now?
No, I don't think. I think I've spoken too much. Do you have anything, Carolina?
No, I already, I love Riley, but your backlog is long and I have a lot of wishes. So I'll come back in a week.
Perfect. Then I have loads of time. No, if I have anything, it's use it as much as possible and ask any questions you can imagine. If it can't answer it now, it's something we will use for feedback to what we want to be able to answer in the future.
And with that said, we're very grateful for your attention, and I hope you found this a very fruitful session. Have a great Tuesday, and to you too, Emil, as well.